So today, inshallah ta'ala, we will talk about how much water to use for wudu. Okay? And we will start by the Quran actually. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ba'adhu billahi min ash-shaytan ar-rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ya bani Adam, khudhu zinatakum 'inda kulli masjidin wa kulu washrabu wa la tusrifu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O children of Adam, O human beings, make sure you take your adornments, meaning look good inda kulli masjid, in all masajid. Make sure you look good, dress up nicely in the masjid. You can eat as much as you want, you can drink as much as you want, but wala tusrifu, do not be wasteful. Okay? Innahu la yuhibbul musrifin, because he does not like those who waste. Very few times Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about 32 times Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says, Inna Allah yuhibbu, Inna Allah la yuhibbu. Okay? So about 16 phrases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna Allah la yuhibbu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like. And there's just a few things. And wastefulness is one of those things. So you can imagine how big of a deal it is to actually cause waste. What kind of waste? Wasteful in eating, wasteful in drinking, being waste, causing waste, throwing waste, causing other resources in the city or in your neighborhood to be utilized where somebody has to go clean up behind your mess. That's waste, right? Anything that you're doing that's creating a cause for other people to come behind you and cause waste. How you utilize the resources in the masjid, for example. Waste, whatever, in your home, anywhere you want. The water we use, right? The cooking that we do, the food that we give to people, etc. I don't want to make this a tazkiyah talk. I just want to give you an idea. Wastefulness is a big no-no in Islam. Another ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَآتِ ذَا الْقُرْبَ حَقَّهُ وَالْمِسْكِينَ وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ وَلَا تُبَذِّرْ تَبْذِيرًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, give the sadaqah, but don't be wasteful even in sadaqah. Don't just, tabdhir means, seeds. If you take seeds and you can give the food to the birds, for example, that's called tabdhir. Nothing is wrong with that. What I'm saying is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, don't be giving sadaqah like you waste money and give to the birds. Don't do that. Save the money for yourself, right? وَلَا تُبَذِّرْ تَبْذِيرًا إِنَّ الْمُبَذِّرِينَ كَانُوا إِخْوَانَ الشَّيَاطِينَ. Those who cause waste, like spreading seeds and give sadaqah or any kind of waste that you're doing without thinking about it too much, they are the brothers of shaitan. Subhanallah. You see how Quran comes strongly against which وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِرَبِّهِ كَفُورًا. And shaitan has always been ungrateful to his Lord. Okay? So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, this is a da'if hadith, but Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he passed by Sa'd, and I forget which Sa'd this is. There's a few Sa'd in Sahaba radiallahu anhum. So one of the Sa'd, وَهُوَ يَتَوَضَّأ, and he was making wudu, Sa'd, okay? فَقَالَ مَا هَذَا السَّرْفُ يَا Sa'd. He's saying, what is this wastefulness, Sa'd? Why are you causing all this waste? He was doing wudu, right? قَالَ أَفِي الْوُضُوء صَرْفُ. Is there wastefulness in wudu even, O Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? قَالَ نَعَمْ وَإِن كُنْتَ عَلَى نَهْرٍ جَارٍ. Even if you do wudu in a running spring water, you use that water unwastefully. You don't just splash it all around you unnecessarily. Do wudu with less waste, even in a running stream. Subhanallah. Okay? So what is the sunnah amount of water to use in wudu? And ghusl. There's a famous hadith. Like I told you, I'm telling you evidences, I'm telling you the why. I'm trying to bring you the why behind all of this. كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم حديث مسلم يتوضأ بالمد. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم did wudu with a mud. I'll explain. ويغتسل بالصاع, and he did ghusl with a sa'. These are the volume metrics of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'll explain what they mean. بالصاع إلى خمسة أمداد, until so much saw that there was 5 mud. Okay, what does this mean? So if you look in general, I'll just make it really simple. A mud is about half a liter, a little over half a liter. Okay, and this is from the Ifta of Jordan, 687 milliliters, and that is approximately a bottle. It's 23 ounces. You know, one bottle of Dasani, it's about 20 ounces. So it's a little bit more than a bottle. So that is a mud. Okay? And he did ghusl with 4 to 5 mud. Okay? Ghusl with 4 to 5 mud, which makes it how much? About 5 bottles of water. So he did ghusl with about 5 bottles of water, which is about almost 3 liters, you can say. Almost 3 liters. So he did wudu with 1 bottle of water, a little over. Okay? So ghusl is a sa'. Sa' is equal to 4 mud, just FYI. This is just a side note. 1 mud is 1 bottle of water, and sa' is, you can say, 4 bottles of water. So he did ghusl with 4 to 5. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So Jabir radiallahu anh, Jabir bin Abdullah, he said that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Yujzi'u min al-wudu'i al-muddu wa min al-janabati as-sa'." He says, you know, it's sufficient to do wudu with 1 bottle of water with 1 mud, and ghusl with a sa', which is 4 mud. Then a man, he asked, "La yakfina dhalika ya Jabir." This is not enough for us, Jabir. Jabir is teaching them, radiallahu anh, and he's like, this is not enough for us. This is not enough water to do wudu. He said, قَدْ كَفَى مَنْ هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِنْكَ وَأَكْثَرُ شَعْرًا. That this was enough, this amount of water was enough for the one who was better than you, and he had more hair than you. Who? Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Okay? So, wasting water is a big deal in Islam, waste in general. So let's make sure that when we do wudu, we don't turn the tap on fully, and if we want to really get the reward of the wudu, we leave it a little, as much as we want. And of course we all shower, you know, really long showers because we want to warm up. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. Allahumma ameen. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instill in us the sense of causing less waste. You know, this applies to, you know, you hear me speak about plastic. Don't use plastic unnecessarily. You know, use things that are reusable, inshallah. That will be better for us. And another short topic, and inshallah we will end. So as we know, that several acts during the wudu are done 3 times, right? 3 times we do madmada, 3 times we do istinshaq, 3 times we wash our face, 3 times we wash our arms, right? 3 times we wash our feet, but only once we do masah. But you can do up to 3 times too. We will talk about that later when we get there. Where does this come from? So when we read the wudu of Uthman radiallahu anh last time, you saw that there were some 333. Actually, there are different narrations. Okay, there are some narrations where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did an action once. There's some narrations where he did an action twice. And there's some narrations there when he did an action 3 times, but not more than 3 times. Okay, so another hadith on wastage, and where we will learn about the 3 times as well. جاء أعرابي إلى النبي. One Bedouin came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asking about wudu, and then he saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam do wudu thalathan, 3 times for each body part, you can say. قال هكذا الوضوء. This is how you do wudu, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was teaching him. فمن زاد على هذا, and whoever does more than 3 times, فقد أساء وتعدى وظلم. And whoever does it more than 3 times, his act is invalid, and he has gone beyond bounds, and he has done something extremely wrong. Okay. In general, what I would say, washing your body part more than 3 times unnecessarily is what's wrong. If you have to, if let's say you have a lot of sweat, let's say, and you feel icky a little bit, it's okay to do a little bit more, but the sunnah is not more than 3 times. Just make sure that the first 2 times and the third time is really thorough enough for you to get that icky feeling out of you. An-Nawawi, since there's conflicting narrations whether Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did an act once or twice or thrice, so Imam An-Nawawi makes it really simple for us, and I'm going to read this small passage, inshallah, and we will end. He said, rahimahullah, وَقَدْ أَجْمَعَ الْمُسْلِمُونَ عَلَى أَنَّ الْوَاجِبِ فِي الْغُسْلِ الْأَعْضَاءِ مَرَّةً. That there's an ijma', consensus. All scholars agree that the wajib, meaning the fard of the rukun of wudu, is to wash each body part at least once. That's a rukun of the wudu, obviously, right? Because otherwise that body part is not washed and your wudu is invalid. وَعَلَى أَنَّ الثَّلَاثَ سُنَّةً. And the sunnah is 3 times. وَقَدْ جاءت الأحاديث الصحيحة بغسل مرة وثلاثا وبعض الأعضاء ثلاثا وبعضهما مرتين وبعضهما مرة. Basically what I said, that sometimes there's narrations that have come, it's washed once or twice or 3 times, right? وقال العلماء فاختلافها دليل على جواز ذلك كله وأن الثلاث. So he's saying, because there is contradiction in the narrations, whether it's once or twice or thrice, the ulama said you can do any of those. You can do once, or you can do twice, or you can do thrice. It's valid in according to all scholars. وَأَنَّ الثَّلَاثَ هِيَ الْكَمَالِ. That up to 3 times is the perfection. Perfection meaning you can't go beyond perfection. You shouldn't go beyond perfection because that is excess. That's wastefulness, right? So up to 3 times is perfection. وَالْوَاحِدَةُ تُجْزِي. And once is enough. Once is enough. فَعَلَى هَذَا يُحْمَلْ اِخْتِلَافَ الْأَحَادِيثِ. So he says, on washing it 1 time, if you want to get away from the ikhtilaf, from the, should I do it once or twice or thrice, he says, if you do it once, that takes you away from the ikhtilaf. But that's okay. We can follow our own school. I'm just telling you how scholars think. What are scholars thinking? Remember, the whole purpose of going through these fiqh exercises is how the scholars are thinking. So you see Imam An-Nawawi, what he said, explained very beautifully, that he said there's multiple narrations. Once is absolutely necessary. There's consensus. Up to 3 times is perfection. It's considered sunnah. But if you want to get away from the ikhtilaf, you're really nervous about it, then just do it once, and that way you will get out of the ikhtilaf. This is what I have for you. I don't want to keep going. Any questions? Yes.
When you do it 3 times, even if you go past 3 times, it doesn't invalidate your wudu. It's just wasteful.
It's wasteful. Correct. That's right. That is correct. Yep. And it can become sinful too. Okay. So let's say you have a cold. You have a cold and you're doing wudu. I have this problem too. Sometimes just doing the istinshaq, the cleaning your nose 3 times, sometimes doesn't feel enough because you still have phlegm in your nose, right? It's okay. You can do it because you're doing it for a reason. You're not doing it wastefully. You're just cleaning your nose. Does it make sense? Yeah.
So you said thrice was sunnah, but it's also 2 times sunnah too?
Yeah. Yep. And 1 time is sunnah too. So for example, the hadith of Uthman radiallahu anhu, the wudu of Uthman, the madmada and the istinshaq was only mentioned once. Other parts were mentioned 3 times. And the masah was mentioned once. Any other questions?
Making wudu on socks.
No, we're not there yet. Not today's topic. That's a whole 30, 40 minute discussion. Yes.
I noticed like some people, they go like, let's say they wash. Is this concept because they wash this one and this part, and this part haven't washed it yet?
Yeah.
And he goes
We will talk about it, inshallah. Yeah. You should. We will talk about thoroughness and isbagh al-wudu and perfecting the wudu and making sure you're fully drenched, inshallah, later on. Any other questions related to the topic? No? Okay. بارك الله فيكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وأشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. بارك الله فيكم.